Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be telling you guys a story about how my helicopter pilot hit on me mid-flight. This past September I turned 25. So to celebrate a quarter of a century, my friends and I, we all went to Vegas and had an amazing vacation. We were there for 5 days and it was just non-stop craziness, so much fun. My parents got us the Bellagio, thanks mom and dad. And we went to tons of concerts and we went to the casino a bunch and it was amazing. So towards the end of the trip, my best friend Charlotte was like, I have a surprise for you. So she was like, get ready, get dressed, and we have to be downstairs at the hotel at 9 p.m. I think it was. So we get ready, I have no idea what's going on, and we go downstairs and all of a sudden a limo pulls up. And I'm like freaking out. I'm like, where is this limo taking us? So we get inside and it's blasting music and it's just like Technicolor in there. It's craziness. And we pull away and I have no idea where we're going. So I'm getting super excited and all of a sudden we pull up at this building and it's like right next to the airport, and I was like, what's going on? What are we doing right now? So we pull up to the airport and the limo driver opens the door and we get out of the car and I noticed that we're at the helicopter part of the airport, and then I started freaking out. The last time I went on a helicopter was when I was like 12 years old and I was in Hawaii with my family, and it was absolutely incredible. That time we were in Kauai and we took a helicopter tour of the island and we flew through the wettest place on earth, which is pretty much a grotto with just like hundreds of waterfalls. And so we flew through that, and while we were flying, a double circular rainbow appeared and we flew right through it. And honestly, ever since then, I have loved helicopters. That was one of the most magical moments of my life. But anyways, back to Vegas. So we go inside and we're immediately handed 2 glasses of champagne, and I'm freaking out because I'm about to go on a helicopter tour of Vegas, and Charlotte surprised me, and it was pretty much the best birthday ever. So we're waiting in the lobby, and finally the pilot appears and he's like, Kylie and Charlotte, it's your turn, so come with me. So we follow the pilot out into the landing strip where he gives us a little bit of information about the trip, things we're gonna see, and safety rules and all of that. So during the presentation, the helicopter pilot is pretty much talking to everyone normally. He might have been looking at me a little bit, but I didn't feel that, so I was just kind of like, whatever, it's gonna be a normal trip. So finally, we all board the helicopter, and for some reason, the pilot decides to help buckle me in, but doesn't really help anyone else get buckled in. Then the pilot gets in his seat and we prepare for takeoff. He's kind of cracking some jokes in the microphone because we like all have headsets. And then he's kind of asking me some questions like where I'm from and what I do. But he wasn't really asking Charlotte or anybody else those questions. So then we prepare for takeoff. The helicopter, rises from the pad and we take off and we're flying over Vegas, and it's the most beautiful view of all the hotels and the buildings and the strip, and it was just amazing. So while we're flying, the pilot, over the microphone is like, so where are you girls staying? And I was like, oh, we're staying at the Bellagio. So then he's like, oh, that's nice. That's not too far from where I live. And I was like, okay. So finally the trip is like coming to an end, and I'm really sad because it was so beautiful and I loved it, and it was an amazing birthday present. So finally the pilot lands the helicopter and he's like, okay, so everyone can get out now. Thank you for riding with us and I hope you had an amazing time. So everyone kind of exits the helicopter, but then he makes a point to come around and help unbuckle me. I'm like, I am more than capable of unbuckling myself. So then we all head back inside where they're going to give us another glass of champagne and then like a complimentary photo from the trip. But right before we enter, the pilot stops me and says, hey, so the people working at the front desk, they have to give you something. So make sure you stop by there on your way out. And I was like, what? At first we thought we were in trouble or did something wrong. So then Charlotte and I walk over to the desk and we said, hey, so the pilot told us that we had to get something over here or talk to someone. Do you know anything about that? And the guy working at the front desk was like, oh, he just wanted me to give you his number. And I was like, what? So he hands me the pilot's number and is like, yeah, he's really interested in you, so you should text him. So Charlotte and I drink our last glass of champagne, and then we get back in the limo and head back to the Bellagio, where we met our other friends, and then we all went out that night to a show. I think we saw Cascade maybe at Encore or something like that. And so just for fun, I was like, I'm gonna text this pilot and see what happens. So I text him, and he responds back like immediately. He's like, hey, me and my friend are at the Bellagio. Do you guys want to meet up? So this guy literally heard me say that I was staying at the Bellagio during mid-flight of our helicopter trip, and then made his way to our hotel to wait for us. So I was like, nah, that's too creepy. So blocked his number. Sorry. And that's my crazy helicopter story. So thanks for watching, guys. I hope you enjoyed this funny story, and if you did, please subscribe, and I'll see you soon. Thank you.